Next year, why is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna retire after this. It's over.
Why is that?
Why are you gonna retire? Why are you thinking about retirement?
Back in the day, a lot of boxers in the early 1900s, they didn't make enough to really make a living just off of boxing. Even in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, a lot of guys had to have 40 or 50 fights in order to make life-changing money. Nowadays, with social media and the way that money just floats around, you can become rich early in your career, and it becomes harder and harder to motivate yourself to go get punched in the face.
Tank, I know that you called Jake Paul a clown following the Tyson fight. Tell us, exactly why. Expound on that.
Because why would he even want to fight him? And who told Mike Tyson to fight anyway?
Told me to fight. I'm a grown man, Tank. Nobody tells me what to do. The only person that tells me what to do is Cuss, and he's been dead for years now. Don't ever disrespect me like this. I will fight. I will come out of retirement again.
Do you think that it might have tarnished Mike's legacy in a way?
Yeah, they did. They definitely did.
Tank.
If fighting Jake Paul tarnished my legacy, then how about you and I fight and I get to refurbish? I get to re-engineer my legacy off of the back and off of the head of you. You have a big head, Tank. That's a target that I don't think I'm going to miss.
Let's talk about the good things that you're doing outside of boxing. You just built a Project Living in your hometown, Baltimore. How you get that idea and how you get it done?
We still building on that shit like that, and
Shout out to Tank Davis for putting up housing projects in Baltimore. Affordable living. There's a lot of homelessness in the city of Baltimore. So shout out to Tank Davis for taking his gift, making some money, and giving back, remembering the poor, remembering the widow.
There was also talks about the possibility of facing Lomachenko. How close was that to get made? Was that fight?
I think he was just he wasn't in the mood right at that moment. I feel so.
Since Tank is a guy that's talking about retirement, he would look funny calling Lomachenko out for not being ready to fight him at that very moment. So, of course, you can defend Lomachenko. Now, with that being said, remember, Lomachenko jumped in the ring at the opportunity to fight George Kambosos. So Loma wasn't in such a halt to relax or to retire when he heard the right name, the right opponent for him.
To Steven Espinoza about your potential fights in 2025, and he said the biggest fights out there could be, again, the rematch with Ryan and possibly with Devin Haney. Are those two fights you would like to pursue for 2025? I mean, honestly, I don't want to see you retire, and I don't think fans want to see you retire.
No, I'm talking about after this year. So them fights can still happen.
Tank Davis could beat Ryan Garcia anytime, any day of the week, at any weight. But I think he would struggle with Devin Haney unless Devin has to do a 10-pound rehydration clause, because Devin is so big. Remember, Tank struggled with Barrios. Devin has the same frame as a Mario Barrios. Long and tall like Mario Barrios, but he has better footwork, better overall craft. And Devin could take a licking and keep on ticking. We saw that in the Ryan Garcia fight. He has great recovery.
But after this year, I'm out of.
Can we see you How you want to retire, Tank? Why do you think about retiring?
For what? Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport?
Shakur has been a multiple division champion in 3 different weight classes. He received, I think, a silver in the Olympics, and he's had some of the highest plus-minus statistics and had the #1 spot in the sport of boxing for a long time now. And usually when he competes, he washes guys on the scorecard. So he's done a lot.
He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
The only reason that Tank is more simpatico with Keyshawn Davis is because Tank Davis has great power and great timing. He's a knockout artist. Keyshawn has shown great aggression, great timing, and great power himself. So Tank likes his style a lot more than Shakur's style. Shakur's style isn't really good for boxing casuals or fans at large. What Shakur does is based off of defense, distance management, things like that. And he hasn't really shown great aggression, great power. So basically Tank isn't a fan of his style, but most fans aren't a fan of Shakur's style. But Keyshawn Davis is not on Shakur's level. Tank knows that.
I keep saying his name for.
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of something, it gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like, he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only win in basketball and football.
See that right there? That's what I call bull mixed with a little bit of shit. Shakur Stevenson doesn't have a versatile offense. That's true. He does the same tricks on offense. But defensively, he's amazing, and defense wins in boxing. Pernell Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather, all these fighters were dominant. Ali, especially young Ali, they were dominant because of their ability. Willie Pep, dominant because of their ability to make opponents miss and to capitalize on their opponents missing. So defense wins in boxing just like other sports. Tank knows that, though. And in addition to that, it's a possibility that Tank is afraid of Shakur. Not afraid of Shakur Stevenson's power or style, but afraid of how big the moment is going to be. That happens, you know. Tank doesn't really like anxiety. He's been dealing with it since he was 8 and since he got into the sport of boxing. Maybe he's tired of putting his body through all that stress.
That shit don't win in boxing.
Tank, you said that you're going to retire next year. How many times do you want to get in the ring next year if it was your choice?
3 times.
3? So it's 3 fights for sure.
The opponents that I would like to see Tank fight for 3 fights in 2025 is Devin, Teo, and Shakur. If he beats all 3 of them, then he solidifies himself as the best lightweight of his era, even though he kind of had a slow start to the beginning of his career. That would pretty much rectify everything, and that would cement him as the best guy out of all the dudes that he came up with.
Retiring, Tank? Why you retiring?
What changed? What made you?
This shit is trash, garbage.
If boxing is trash, then Tank and Canelo both play a part in boxing being trash. These are 2 of the biggest names in the sport, and they haven't made the biggest fights. Errol Spence, when he was one of the biggest names in the sport, he gave us a Terrence Crawford fight. He even went against his own advisors to do so. So you need a star that's willing to make the big fights happen in order for boxing to be great, in order for boxing to be at its best.
Need to sign a prospect for GTD. Who will be?
Javante, something should have happened during this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything?
Fed up with them.
To be honest, Tank retiring and Canelo retiring would be good for boxing. First off, just because somebody retires doesn't mean they can't come back. We've seen Floyd do it. We've seen a lot of guys do it. Ray Leonard. Second, it would allow boxing to kind of clear up and declog itself, because there's a lot of talented people who are willing to fight, but they don't have the spotlight on them because bigger stars are there. But if you take away those bigger stars, the public is going to be forced to tune into those lesser stars. And some of those lesser stars have the same talent, sometimes better talent, but a lot of them have a more willingness to fight and make the big fights happen. They have more heart.
Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford and Leonard Edelby? Usually they're around to.
You think you might be gaining love for it though? You never know. Like like say you got a squawk today. Okay.
Hey, Tank's fighting Lamont Roach on March 1st, by the way.
You know what I'm saying? It's finding it hard to get motivated. Man. Fighting that way, it's looking like it's kind of boring to the value up.
Nah, not really. Yeah, I had that 100 ready.
How you gonna get you motivated?
Right.
How you gonna get your money, Tank?
How
How you gonna get the money from him? How you gonna get it?
He from DC.
How you know?
He from DC. His name Al. Me and my niggas, we on that. Yeah, I know he live everything. I know his mama. I'm gonna get my money. Tank funny as hell, man. Shout out to Tank. Once again, one of the reasons Tank is a big star is because he's very charismatic, whether people want to admit it or not.
Sure, I get it.
Why do stuff like that motivate you, Tank?
Think he's gonna finish the fight. Will you still bet for it?
Bet who?
Bet anybody. Like he's gonna finish the fight.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Like sardines right now.
Somebody's got picks that.
My bag, man. I have to do it.
Can I move it?
You want to bet that?
Can I move it?
You good?
Yeah. Can I just move it
why
a
you
little bit
right
more?
here?
There we go. Perfect.
All right.
Why you right here recording? Why you right here recording? Who is you?
I'm me. I'm Rafiq.
Who are this guy?
Tank, I'm me. I'm Rafit. I want to bet that the guy is not going to go 12 round. You knock him out. We both make money, buddy. Hey, Rafit was trying to bet on Tank's behalf. Tank couldn't understand nothing he was saying because of the accent. And it was just a funny encounter. Tank was trying to get his ass up out of there, but the dude was actually just a fan of Tank. But sometimes being a fan of somebody, trying to fan real hard, it puts you in certain situations like this.
Who are this guy?
I don't know. Are you a reporter?
No, I'm asking, would you bet if he's gonna pass 9? That's the question.
He's saying, would you
He
put
goes past the
5,000
ninth
on you that he won't get past 9?
rounds.
Yeah.
He's not going against you. He's saying, would you bet the 5 that he won't get past 9?
Why bet him 5?
No, not him. He's
general,
saying
would you
in
bet?
general, like, would you tell people to put that money on the 9?
You say you're gonna start him at 9. So
Yeah.
Next question.
Javante.
Next question.
Yeah, I don't speak all that African shit, dummy. Yeah, next question. Tank funny as hell, man. My man Tank said, who are this guy?
What other fighters were there at the name? Javante, what other fighters were there in the name? Because, you know, obviously there's Shakur and then Lamont. Was Lamont just one of the first options that you wanted to fight? And why him overall?
What you say?
Why Lamont Roach at the end of the day? Just was the only option there at the moment?
No, I think I don't even remember how it went, bro. I swear I don't even know how it went.
So you don't remember how the negotiations on your career, the thing that makes you millions, you don't remember how they went. Alrighty. Here's what happened. Loma didn't want to fight. Rayo didn't want to fight. So Lamont is like a last-ditch effort. Lamont is a guy that Tank is familiar with. Everybody wins. He gets to pay off one of his childhood friends. And it will be a great fight. The only problem is the public isn't buying it. Even though the public should buy it because Lamont can fight better than anybody else that Tank has fought up to date.
You trying to get him a check?
Huh?
Trying to get him a check?
He trying to get him a check?
You trying to get him taken from the area? Trying to get him.
I don't really know how it went, bro. I think he caught. I don't know. I don't know how it went.
Hey, after Roach, what's next? I know you said that you want to retire. What's next for you? Hypothetically, if you are retiring, what's next for you? Are you going to be doing entrepreneurial stuff, training? Where can we see Tank in the next 3 to 5?
Yeah, I'd probably be more building my real estate portfolio. And
Floyd Mayweather popularized a lot of this real estate stuff for these boxers because boxers have all this money when they're at the height of their career, but they don't invest it in things that bring them back a return on investment. They don't invest it in things that appreciate as opposed to depreciate. And Floyd made it popular to be, a boxing businessman, and that's great because now young fighters like Tank, that's the first thing on their mind. Let's make money outside of boxing. Let's not just use our physical abilities to get paid because you can't use those forever.
I just trying to separate myself from the limelight,
Do you feel like it's harder to find the fights that you wanted years ago now that these guys are avoiding you now?
Bro, I don't even think about that stuff like that, bro.
What good skills?
Me and fighters is, y'all fail to realize, me and fighters are different, we way different. I don't look at it, I don't care about belts and I don't care about that stuff. I don't go none of that.
Why not?
Yeah, I worry about getting my money and getting out of it. That's what I worry about.
This reminded me of the Floyd and the Shane Mosley press conference. When Floyd said, y'all thinking about the fight, I'm thinking about the check. He thinking about hitting me with his hard power, but we already know his ass to hit the deck. But yeah, Tank Davis is pretty much telling everybody, all this belt and legacy, all these pressures that y'all put on fighters before me and that you're going to put on fighters after me doesn't apply to me because I don't give a fuck about nothing but getting paid. So I'm a great skilled boxer. I'm probably the best in my generation, but I'm not even going to try to prove it because that's not why I box. I don't box to prove anything to me or to you. I box to get paid. That's all he's saying.
What skills does Lamont Roach have compared to other fighters that you face? Frank Martin, obviously, Ryan Garcia. What is Lamont Roach? At least one good thing.
I think it.
Go ahead and ask.
We fought before, so he he's familiar with my style and things like that. So it's chemistry. So I feel as though it's gonna be a good fight. I don't think I'm gonna go in there and knock him out. I feel as though it's gonna be good until I do what I do.
Lamont Roach has better accuracy, defense, pacing, experience. He does things way better than all of Tank's opponents. The only person that might be a little bit better at something than Roach is Pitbull. Pitbull has better pressure than Roach. But Roach is literally going to be the best all-around boxer that Tank has fought.
As far as your opponents go, where do you rank him as far as his skills?
Like far as skills, I think he had way more better skills than Frank Martin. Like skill-wise, way more better skills. Frank Martin just bigger, but for sure he had way more skills than Frank Martin. And he's quicker.
You said you
No, you're not. I take that back. No, you're not.
So Frank Martin, remember, he was a football athlete. Frank Martin actually, fast twitch-wise and athleticism-wise, he could go head for head with Tank, but Tank actually has better punch technique. So he could use every last portion of his athleticism. Lamont Roach isn't really as fast or big or strong as Frank Martin, that's true. But boxing isn't Mr. Olympia. Boxing is about skills, time, and precision. Lamont has all those other things. And he's going to be a much bigger threat than Ryan Garcia or Frank Martin or Pitbull Cruz.
You know who they are?
Probably the Ryan, hopefully, or not hopefully, but if it happens, I don't know, bro.
This might sound crazy, but I think it's accurate. I think Tank Davis, if he fought the same Ryan Garcia that cheated and that was overweight that Devin Haney fought, Tank would have still found a way to win and to stop Ryan. I think Tank is truly that good. That's why a rematch between Tank and Ryan Garcia isn't a fight that I want to see. Tank is just way better than Ryan. Stylistically, all the things that he could do, Ryan doesn't have good enough setups to get in there and go 12 rounds with Tank Davis.
I know I got a year and then it's over with.
Tank, you know you say you'd be happy to take that fight at 140. You or Ryan or anybody.
Ryan?
Yeah. Would you visit that again going to 140? Teofimo?
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I'm gonna slap the shit out of him when I see him.
Why?
The thing about Tio is that you're out here calling Bud and Tank monkeys, but then you're begging those monkeys for money, for a chance to make money. So basically you're saying they're monkeys, right? And they're beneath you racially, but you're asking them to give you an opportunity. That's backwards. That's not really how racism is supposed to work. And I mean, the white man is supposed to be throwing darts from a throne, and the black man is supposed to be begging for the opportunity to get up and rank and hopefully sit at the table with the white man. Tio has this shit backwards. Tio is at the bottom trying to throw darts at people that are above him.
Why is that, Tank?
I'm gonna really slap the shit out of him when I see him.
Teofimo?
Yeah.
What you think about Teofimo calling you and Crawford?
I just said what I said.
Do you think his demeanor gonna change if he get in front of you?
Yeah, because they all pussy. They're all pussy. You see what Keyshawn said when I said what I said on Twitter and try to provoke him. He don't like when people call him bitch. What I call him? To provoke him to do something. He ain't come with that same energy. He called me a crybaby because I'm light skinned. Yeah, I bet. No.
So this is where Bud and Tank, where they kind of go off the wire. Bud approached Tio in person, put his finger in Tio's father's face and expected Tio to fight him right there. Tank thinks if he calls Keyshawn a bitch over social media, Keyshawn gonna pull up on him and they gonna fight like in the street or something. That's never gonna happen. We want to see y'all in the ring in a mega event, not a street fight. So that's where they kind of lose me a little bit.
When it comes to making fights, obviously there's trash talk, but do you think it's a matter of respect that sometimes, Lamont gives you a lot of respect. Does that play a part of making fights too, not just, this opponent, that opponent is a mutual kind of...
That's a good-ass question, bro. We seen Terrence Crawford talk about that, like, oh, so-and-so is going about making the fight all wrong. We saw Canelo saying that Benavidez isn't respectful and stuff like that. Your opponent is supposed to be respectful. You're not supposed to be in there with somebody that's been having dreams about you like Edgar Berlanga. Somebody that's not going to try to say anything too disrespectful to you on a podium. You need to be in there with somebody that's gunning for your head. That's what's going to make the fight interesting. So that's a great question by that interviewer, because that's something that needs to be addressed in the sport of boxing today. A lot of the top guys are only fighting guys that are going to, show some type of beta presence or kiss their ass and show obeisance to them, as opposed to somebody that's really coming to chop their head off.
Some of them just, the way how they go about it, like they young, so they come off disrespectful, So they a little wild, I don't know. They want to show that they something they not. But that backfire.
When you retire, do you put your name with the greatest? When you retire, you put your
When I
name.
retire?
You put your name next to the greatest.
I don't even care about that, bro. I don't even care about that. And where I'm from, bro, I will forever be a great. I will be a forever great to myself.
Prince Nassim, Joe Calzaghe. These are fighters who milk boxing for the money, avoided big fights, and it is what it is. They have a record that reflects greatness because of it. The only reason people are giving Tank a hard time, number one, because he's more talented than those guys, but number two, because he's black. So they don't mind giving a black man millions, but they want you to have to die and really put yourself through punishment to get those millions. But Tank is basically saying, nah, I'm not going to challenge myself in that way. Why take unnecessary damage? I'm already milking the system. Pretty much Tank Davis is the equivalent of like those second string quarterbacks in the NFL. Now, I mean, they sitting on the bench, not really seeing top action. Every once in a while they get in the game, but they bringing in all these fucking checks, man. They bringing in, that chicken, as Cameron would say.
I don't care about none of that.
Hey, Javante, Los, we face boxing TV. We know that you got the skills to end this at any time. Is there a reason why you say that you see the ninth round being the round where you take him out?
I just throwing them out there for real.
You been wrong, though.
But I know. But the way how his face looked when I said it was crazy. Like ninth round.
I believe that Tank just threw a number out there because of the style of fighter he is. Tank is like Ali and Bud as well, Bud Crawford. They let the fight come to them, so they can't really... Ali would pick rounds, but you saw once the competition level went up, he couldn't just start picking rounds, and he would try to get guys out of there at certain times. It didn't work. But they let the fight come to them, and when you do that, you never know when the opportunity is going to arise. So you can't really say, I'm going to knock this person out in this round or that round. You don't know when they're going to make that wrong move, and you don't know when you're going to be able to capitalize on it. And they're very free-flowing fighters.
Last four fights you ain't missed though on the call out though.
I don't know. Write it down. That was just like a little.
I asked him earlier. I asked him if how he felt about you probably trying to get under his skin, probably swing like you did with Ryan and them. He said he wished you do something like that to him.
Yeah.
Can we await something like that in the next press conference?
Like what? Do what?
He
said if you swing on one
like
or swing or push him, he warned you that it ain't gonna go like you think.
What do you mean?
Like, at the face off, you either push or swing on your opponent to get it. He said if you try it, it ain't gonna go good.
What he would have did?
And that's the same sentiment I have when Tank was talking about Keyshawn Davis. It's like, what are these guys gonna do? Get into a full brawl at the damn press conference or face-off? That's unrealistic. The fight is gonna get broken up immediately. So there's no point in even turning that into a fight.
See you do that. You got any words to say to him?
No, not
press
really.
conference in Baltimore?
Nigga, instigator.
Tank, when you start losing your love for boxing, when you start losing your love for boxing, what happened?
You just being fed up. That's it. It's just not even boxing, just overall everything.
Business, everything.
Yeah, just everything.
I've heard
time
you.
for me to like fall back.
Congrats. So tell your hometown, would you consider a big going away party fight? Just for the crib, one time, Baltimore, at the bank?
Sounds like Tank is fed up with being famous. Like, literally everything he does, whether he's dancing in his underwear or something, gets into a car wreck, if he gets arrested, everything is publicized everywhere. That can be very draining on a person. Also, he had beef with Floyd for years, beef with his management. That's draining as well. Tank seems like an introvert, so he probably doesn't even like all these cameras on him. He's probably grown to like the attention because he grew up wanting to be a champion and all that. But as an introvert, that shit is definitely going to wear on him. And also, him fighting at M&T Bank in Baltimore will be dope. I hope he does that before he retires, because one of the reasons why the fans in Baltimore don't go as hard as him as the fans in New York is that Tank has never really fought in Baltimore.
Hey, Tank, you mentioned he had a little pop. What are you referring to? Like from the amateurs or just fights that you've seen that he's been having?
Nah, I fought him before. He got popped for sure. I know.
Like, who would you rate? Like Ryan Garcia pop? Like, comparing, you're a 10, so what's he, like an 8? Or like,
It depends, though. Like, in boxing, like, I can say, like, a person, like...
Now, Lamar Roach only has like 5 knockouts, but he does have pop if he can catch you with a shot that you don't see. If he can land that precise, accurate shot. That's what Tank is saying. That's what the interviewer, that's what a lot of fans don't understand. It's not just about how heavy your hands are. Not just about how fast you are, how powerful you are. It's about the right shot at the right time. Tank can now allow himself to get caught with the right shot at the right time by Lamar Roach because he could get hurt. He could get stopped. Even though Roach isn't a power puncher per se, that's what Tank is trying to say.
There's a certain way he can hit you, you know what I mean? Like, I feel as though he just hits hands heavy. And like, he got good timing too. So if like you sleep on him, he can catch you playing with a good shot. And, you know what I mean? He can hurt you, type shit like that.
It's a little bit different from Rolly, that really strong, right?
Like his would be like more sneaky. Rolly would be more like, you know he can hit.
Everything that Rolly and Ryan throw is going to be telegraphed, where Lamont, he's going to set his shots up better, so they're going to hurt more. And that's basically the difference. And that's something that a lot of casual fans don't understand, or guys who've never been to the ring, they don't understand the difference. They've never felt the difference.
Last question, guys. Enjoy.
Hey, you think Lamar's scared? Okay. What do you see in his eyes?
No, I don't think he's good.
You ever gonna come back?
Last question right here. Last question right here.
Can you sign me a glove?
Ask a question.
What are your thoughts on Canelo being 14 pounds overweight?
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to do him crazy because he's like, you know, on the come up. So I don't.
All right, so that was a good question by the interviewer. Tank started laughing because he could go at Kermel right now, but he chooses not to, which is a sign of maturity. Tank talked about Lamar's power, the sneakiness of it, so Tank is going to be alert for that power. You know what I mean? He talked about wanting to fight Ryan Garcia again, a fight that I don't want to see. He's open to fighting Devin Haney. The only person that he doesn't seem open to fighting is Shakur, and that's annoying because it's like, bro, Shakur is the guy that has the best chance of beating you. Why aren't you open to fighting him? Unless he's leading the public on. But that's pretty much it, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Also, I still remember that Tank took Kermel Moulton off of one of his big fight cards. I didn't like that at all. I think if you're in Tank Davis' position, you got to understand kids are going to be kids. Kermel Moulton is signed to Floyd. Floyd has helped that man, paid his father's bills and stuff like that, has supported that man through his teenage years. So he's going to be loyal to Floyd. Tank, you should understand that. Floyd put you in the position you in. You know, truth be told. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think this was a nice little post-press conference interview. Tank Davis kept it real with him. He showed you what he's about. He's not about legacy. He's about money. He's been saying that for years. I don't know why people are surprised. Canelo used to be about legacy, but at this point in his career, Canelo's about money as well. The sport is going to be more interesting when they retire. And I also think that Tank is going to see the spotlight that some of these guys have, and he's going to come out of retirement to reclaim his throne. And that's going to make for great boxing events. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, and thanks for watching.